welcome to News at this hour. I am your host Rika Roy and this is our top story. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin on Friday asserted in the assembly that he does not like to talk again on the recent face-off with Governor R.N. Ravi and politicize it. Replying to the discussion on Governor's address, Stalin said Governor Ravi made his address lauding the Tamil Nadu government on his best performance. He also briefly announced the future steps aimed at development in the address to the House.
Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin refrained from any direct attack on the governor in his reply to the governor's speech that had become controversial after Governor R.N. Ravi deviated from the government-approved text and then walked out when it was not taken on record.
அந்த நிகழ்ந்தவற்றை மீண்டும் பேசி நான் அரசியலாக்க விரும்பவில்லை. அதே நேரத்தில் மக்களால் தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்ட ஆட்சியின் மாண்பை காக்கவும் மக்கள் எங்களுக்கு வழங்கிய ஆட்சியின் வலிமையை உணர்த்தவும் நூற்றாண்டை கடந்த இந்த சட்டமன்றத்தின் விழுமியங்களை போற்றவும் நான் என்னுடைய சக்தியை மீறியும் செயல்படுவேன் என்பதை இந்த மாமன்றமும் என்னை சட்டமன்றத்திற்கு தேர்ந்தெடுத்து அனுப்பிய தமிழ் பெருமக்களும் நன்கு அறிவார்கள்.
The Chief Minister had passed a resolution asking the Speaker to not take on record the Governor's deviations. He has also written to President Murmu asking that the Governor must function according to constitutional norms. Outside the Raj Bhavan, however, protests by DMK's ally VCK demanding recall of the governor.
He lost his moral right to retain this post. He is nothing but a cadre of RSS.
With many more DMK allies joining hands, this will be the beginning of many more protests against Governor R.N. Ravi, demanding his recall or return from Tamil Nadu.
Where we could see
at the Raj Bhavan Pongal celebrations on Thursday evening, some amends as the state was referred to as Tamil Nadu and the official state emblem was back. The DMK and allies skipped the meet.
The Raj Bhavan is yet to respond. Amid growing demand for R.N. Ravi's recall, the governor has flown to Delhi. The Tamil Nadu government that has adopted a measured response through the president hopes R.N. Ravi would mend ways and abide by the constitutional norms and boundaries. In Chennai with Suresh, Sam Daniel, for NDTV.
Switching tracks to some other news now, ED has summoned Mumbai Commissioner Iqbal Chahal for questioning on Monday and he has been summoned for questioning in alleged COVID center scam. My colleague Mukesh Singh Sanger will shortly be speaking to Mukesh as to why Iqbal Chahal has been summoned for probe in the COVID center scam. Well, the news that we are getting at this hour is that the Enforcement Directorate has summoned the BMC Commissioner Iqbal Chahal for an alleged scam relating to a COVID center. Now, another story, Delhi's Lieutenant Governor Vinay Kumar Saxena and Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal met today, restarting their weekly meetings. In the meeting that comes amid ongoing tensions between the LG and the Delhi government, Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal brought up the issue of administrative share of power in the national capital. Last week, CM Kejriwal had written to the LG accusing him of bypassing and ignoring the Delhi government on a range of issues, including the appointment of nominated councillors to the Delhi municipality.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट की कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बेंच ने, संविधान पीठ ने एक जजमेंट पास किया था दिल्ली की सरकार को लेके, जिसको मैं आज आपके सामने कोट कर रहा हूं. ये जजमेंट है. इस जजमेंट में साफ साफ लिखा है दो जगह. एक लिखा है द लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर हैज नॉट बीन एंट्रस्टेड विद एनी इंडिपेंडेंट डिसीजन मेकिंग पावर. ये दूसरा एक और पेज, ये 231 पेज पे मैंने दिखाया. एक और पेज आता हूं, यहां पे लिखा हुआ है There is no independent authority vested in Lieutenant Governor to take decisions. इससे ज्यादा बेचारा सुप्रीम कोर्ट भी क्या करेगा? सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने लिखा है there is no independent authority vested in Lieutenant Governor to take decisions other than matters where he has to act as judicial authority. अगर सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा है कि उनको इंडिपेंडेंट डिसीजन मेकिंग की पावर नहीं है तो नहीं है. सुप्रीम कोर्ट के ऑर्डर्स को सम्मान करें, संविधान का सम्मान करें, जनतंत्र का सम्मान करें.
The Prime Minister today met some of the top economists in the country and said sees opportunities arising as a result of emerging global environment. He also said public and private sector need to leverage synergies and think out of the box. Emerging global environment offers new opportunities in digitization, energy, healthcare and agriculture.
As you are well aware, the Prime Minister listening to various economists, top economists from the 15th Finance Commission to various other key economic commentators. Some of the main points that he suggested was that India needs to think out of the box to leverage the current situation, the global headwinds and make and ensure that women's participation takes place to a greater extent. Also commenting specifically on fintech and what hasn't been stated and what we've been able to speak to people who were participating are many of the second generation reforms. For example, insurance and other kind of reforms should be taken forward, and we could expect that to be reflected in the budget when it is presented on the 1st of February.
Now, before reviewing security situation in Jammu, Home Minister Amit Shah today spoke to the victims' families of the recent terrorist attack in Rajouri. Due to inclement weather, Home Minister could not reach the terror-hit Dangri village in Rajouri, but his message to deal with terror was loud and clear.
The Home Minister in Jammu. The plan to visit the village in Rajouri, witness to a terrible terror strike on New Year's Day, targeting Hindu families, killing 7. But bad weather came in the way. Instead, Mr. Shah told the media that he spoke with the families on the phone.
मुझे विश्वास है कि आने वाले दिनों में जिन लोगों ने भी ये घटना करी है, उनको जम्मू कश्मीर पुलिस बहुत कम समय के अंदर नसीहत करेगी और उनको कानून के दायरे में लाकर कोर्ट के सामने खड़ा करेगी. इसके साथ साथ जम्मू क्षेत्र की पूरी सुरक्षा को चौक चौबंद करने के लिए जो एक्शन प्लान बना है, ये टाइम बाउंड है और 3 महीने के अंदर हर क्षेत्र के अंदर सुरक्षा ग्रिड को मजबूत करने का आज फैसला हुआ है.
A massive hunt for the terrorists has so far been unsuccessful. The families confirmed that the Home Minister called them, saying that they asked, what about those that had to bear the brunt of terror?
अपनी मांग रखी. यही आश्वासन दिया है जो आप मैं नहीं आ सका मौसम की खराबी की वजह से, तो आप ऐसे कर रहा जो आपसे हुआ है तो आपके जो जितने जो आदमी थे जो करने वाले जल्द से जल्द पकड़े जाएंगे, मारे जाएंगे. तो हमने बोला भाई अब जो वो तो मारे जाएंगे, जो इनकी फैमिली का बच्चों का क्या होगा, जो छोटे बच्चे शिशुपाल के रह गए हैं, बोलते हैं वो पढ़ाई के लिए वो व्यवस्था करेगी.
The Home Minister held a meeting of all heads of security and intelligence agencies, urging the need for tougher action on terror.
While bad weather put a spanner in the works and Home Minister Amit Shah could not visit Rajouri to meet the victim families, he tried to send a strong message that there will be tougher action against militancy and its support structure. He also put the police and security force on notice to devise a robust mechanism within 3 months to keep Jammu safe. In Srinagar, Nazir Masoodi, 5NDTV.
The news of another tragedy that's happening in Uttarakhand right now. Joshimath saw a rapid sinking of 5.4 centimeter in just 12 days, according to a report by ISRO. Satellite images released by ISRO's National Remote Sensing Satellite show the town sank by 5.4 centimeter between December 27th and the 8th of January. The report, quoting witnesses, say that massive soil sinking occurred due to a rapid subsidence event that was triggered on the 2nd of January.
The human cost of the Joshimath land subsidence crisis playing out across the town. From a teary-eyed family forced to leave home to this Gurudwara where at least 8 to 10 families have taken shelter.
कितनी तकलीफ है आपको?
तकलीफ तो अपना किसी के सिर से छत जाता तो तकलीफ तो होती है। मैं भी बुढ़िया हूँ, इतने 71 साल की बुढ़िया हूँ। 71 साल की? इतने परेशान। आपके पति ने बनाया था? पति मेरे पति की डेथ हुई ना, तब हमको थोड़ा बहुत पैसे मिले, वो नौकरी करते थे, तब मैंने एक पैसे जोड़े। मेरे 3 बच्चे थे, उनको पढ़ाया लिखाया, शादी की उनकी, तब वैसे कर एक पैसे जोड़ के तब थोड़ा बच्चों ने भी किया। तब
आपकी आंखों में आंसू आ गए हैं?
हाँ, क्या करेंगे?
सरकार ने तो बोला कि हम पर भरोसा करो और जितना हो सकता है उतना हम जो है कि सहायता करेंगे, लेकिन कब तक हम जो है कि गुरुद्वारे में रहेंगे?
हमारे पास तो इतना बिजनेस भी नहीं है कि जो हम आगे बढ़ा सके। हमारे पास जो भी है तो हम मकान पे ही निर्भर है, किराए पे ही निर्भर है कि हमारा किराया है, उससे बच्चों का भविष्य बढ़े, क्योंकि अभी तो मकान भी नहीं है और बच्चे हमारे सब छोटे छोटे हैं, पढ़ने वाले हैं। ऐसा ही नहीं है कि हमारे बच्चे रोजगार पे हैं, छोटे बच्चे हैं और अब तो घर से भी उम्मीद नहीं है कि हम घर पे कुछ कर सके। तो हमारे पास कुछ ऑप्शन नहीं है क्योंकि हमारा रेड जोन में आ गया है।
The Uttarakhand government today said it will probe if power firm NTPC, that is constructing new projects in the area, is responsible for the sinking of land in Joshimath. The carrying capacity of all hilly areas will be checked. The state government will also approach the centre for a relief package. But just how bad is the crisis in Joshimath? This report by the Indian Space Research Organisation says Joshimath saw a rapid sinking of 5.4 centimeter in just 12 days between December 27, 2022 and January 8 this year. The space agency also found that the sinking rate was much lower in the previous months. With Saurabh Shukla and camera person Pawan Kumar, Bureau Report, NDTV.
Time for a quick break on the show. More on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back. US President Joe Biden is facing a controversy over the discovery of what his lawyers have characterized as a small number of classified documents from his days as vice president at the former office in Washington and his Delaware home. On Thursday, Attorney General named a special counsel to review the matter.
Just as former US President Donald Trump is in the midst for keeping classified documents at Mar-a-Lago after he left office, classified documents from President Joe Biden's time as Vice President were found at the University of Pennsylvania Center, set up for Biden in his time out of office, and at his home in Delaware. Classified documents, Obama-era intelligence memos, briefing materials covering topics like the United Kingdom and Ukraine have now been recovered. Meanwhile, the White House has been on the defensive.
This is the kind of thing that can cause government employees to lose a security clearance. This is a serious matter, as the White House has said. Was the president sloppy in his handling of classified material if there are multiple locations where classified documents are being found?
Look, I said it in the statement. It's in the statement of from his lawyer, Richard Sauber, and at the end, he said we are confident that a thorough review will show that these documents were inadvertently misplaced, and the president and his lawyers acted promptly upon discovery of this mistake. I'm going to leave it there.
A former U.S. attorney in the Trump administration, Robert Hur, will now take over this investigation.
Biden is far from the first politician to be found mishandling sensitive material. But unlike Donald Trump, who refused repeated government requests to return his own largest set of documents, Biden's team returned them to the government without being asked. But this still leaves the question of how and why the classified documents got there in the first place. Parmeshwar Bava for NDTV.
Vodafone Idea, also known as V's financial crisis, only seems to worsen. Sakshi Bajaj reports on the challenges ahead and what experts have to say on the road ahead for the company.
Over 15 years and counting, and Vodafone's India crisis only seems to worsen with each passing phase. As the waves of disruption worsened, the Aditya Birla Group offered a helping hand. The telecommunication industry is one of the most developing industries, and while mergers in the telecom industry are not uncommon, Vodafone and Idea's merger in 2018 was the only way for Vodafone to survive in India as per some experts. However, some experts believe two weak players coming together was always a recipe for disaster.
I can't remember any instance of two weak players globally coming together to create a competitive telecom entity. Voda Idea merger from the word go was handicapped by cultural gaps and inability and unwillingness of their largest shareholders to fund the deepening and shortening investment cycles into future technologies. Any of the top two players acquiring the third or the fourth largest player could have had a much better chance of success, but the leaders here guessed VIL's fate rightly and gave it a pass. Government's earnest support to ease their cash flow issues was never enough to turn around their P&L and fundamentally weak balance sheet. Now we are at a situation where any new investments, whether by government or any private player or by the promoters, to me sounds as if it is a good money chasing bad money syndrome.
Many also believe the company was compelled to rebrand itself in 2020 at a time they were looking to raise 25,000 crores to meet government dues, pay interest and invest in operations. It is then when fresh hopes were pinned on brand V on better cash flows after revised tariffs, and experts believed borrowings will be gradually paid off. In 2021, the government had agreed to convert its outstanding dues worth around Rs 16,000 crores to 35.8% equity stake in Vodafone Idea. But now fresh concerns from bankers and consortium seem to emerge, and troubles only seem to mount as some even suggest that some vendors may even now consider asking the company for advance payments.
3 years back, I was of the opinion that the government cannot let Vodafone Idea shut down, since we can't afford fresh NPAs for the banking space, plus loss of employment, and more importantly higher tariffs, as the space would become a duopoly with Bharti and Jio as the major players. Since it failed to generate positive cash flows, has been continuously losing subscribers, and they don't have funds to launch 5G. And additionally, the promoters seem to have given up and expecting the government to support. And now with the government also backing out of conversion of debt, it seems the end of the road. Even the vendors may stop providing credit from January. So it's only a matter of time before we write the obituary.
Even as the company says it is business as usual and talks are underway, as Vodafone Idea, now known as V, is battling a debt burden of over Rs 2 lakh crores, experts believe Vodafone Idea's India survival is now on the brink, and capital infusion from promoters may be the only way forward. Sakshi Bajaj for NDTV.